Now, talked about Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts makes the playoffs, does he lock in the Eagles' starting job for next season?
Unfortunately for him, I don't think so. I think that they are going to be looking to make an upgrade at quarterback. They have 3 first-round picks. It doesn't seem like that upgrade is going to be in the draft. So maybe they'll be able to package those first-round picks to go get Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson, one of these quarterbacks that might be on the move in the offseason. I think that the Eagles have done a good job building around Jalen Hurts, but it doesn't seem to me that they are committed to him by any stretch. They brought in Minshew. They're always looking to upgrade at that spot, which is kind of how they ended up with Jalen Hurts as their starting quarterback, because they kind of ran Carson Wentz off. So I think they'll continue to operate the way that they have, and they're going to look to make that position even better. So I think Jalen Hurts is not short of a Super Bowl. I don't think that Jalen Hurts is going to cement himself as the long-term answer in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it must be tough for him with those issues with job security in terms of starting job security. Now, I want to play a game with people out there. Let's do a little blind resume here. Take a look at this. Now, the players you see here, A and B, both players have about the same number of rushing yards this season, but player B has the clear advantage in rushing touchdowns. So who's who? Player A, Lamar Jackson. Player B, Jalen Hurts. So let's bring the guys back in. And the reason I wanted to do that was because if you had Bart Scott sitting here, as he was about 2 weeks ago, he'd probably still be telling you that Lamar Jackson is this year's MVP, or at least he's in that conversation. Meanwhile, Jalen Hurts, guys, can barely hold down the starting job, and it feels sometimes like it doesn't matter what he does, it's going to be tough, even if they make the playoffs. So, Dan Graziano, I'll start with you. If the Eagles make the playoffs, do you think that Hurts is the long-term starter in Philly?
I think, look, Ryan, I think it improves his chances of being the starter again next year. And it's possible he hangs in long term. But what we know about the Eagles is that they always keep their bases covered at this position. They owe their Super Bowl title to the fact that they did that, right? That they had a backup who could step in and win games at the professional level. So they're always on the lookout to maximize and make it as good as possible when it comes to their quarterback situation. What I know about this year for the Eagles is they wanted to give Jalen Hurts a fair shot to show them that he can be the guy, and that so far he's shown plenty of signs of that, maybe even enough to bring him back as the starter next year. But if they feel like they can go out and get an upgrade with those 3 first-round picks, like a trade for Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson or someone like that, I just don't think, knowing their history, you can rule that out as a possible course of action for the Eagles, and that's nothing against Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, they do like to trade, although trading those 3 first-rounders, I don't know if I could see that in Philly. Ninkovich, what do you think? If the Eagles make the playoffs, whether they win a game or not, do you think that Hurts should be the long-term starter?
I think he should, yeah. I really think they should use those first-round picks on something to help Jalen Hurts. And you look at the quarterback draft class, you know, coming out this year, there's really nobody that you can think of that's a better quarterback than what they have already. Yeah, of course, you could talk about Russell Wilson or hypotheticals on Aaron Rodgers, but they also, that could be a problem where you lose 3 first-round draft picks that help your team, and maybe those guys wouldn't want to come to a team that doesn't have many weapons. So for me, I think they stick with them.
All right, we'll see what they decide to do. It certainly is a tough situation if you're Jalen Hurts, but he is playing for his job, and he's playing well at this point.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.